Hey everyone, what is going on? And welcome back to another meta guide. We're in the Fighting Cup remix today, so the Fighting Cup is back, except they're banning 4 Pokemon. So in addition to the Meta Champ, because that was banned in the original Fighting Cup, we also have the 2 dragons, Hakamo and Komao, which are banned, Buzzwole is banned, and Hisuian Sneasler. So really good picks to ban. I mean, the double dragons were obviously very popular. If you ran those, you really had nothing to worry about within the entire meta. That's how insane it was. So those 2 definitely deserved to be banned, no doubt about it, and I'm glad that they are. Hisuian Sneasler, or not Hisuian Sneasler, I guess just Sneasler, is banned as well, and that was very difficult to get. You had to trade with a low-level account in order to get one. So you really had to find someone to trade with. So that's why those are banned. And then I guess Buzzwole is probably one of the most common, or one of the more common ones outside of those. Probably one of the more common ones to use. But either way, we're going to go ahead and dive right into the video and see which Pokemon I think are going to be the best. So let's begin, shall we? So the S rank, we have Toxicroak. Toxicroak is the absolute best Pokemon in this meta. Honestly, the only thing it really has to worry about, for the most part, I would think is Throw, because Throw, obviously Zen Headbutt, is double super effective towards Toxicroak, so that is a big threat to Toxicroak. But I mean, it resists fighting attacks, so it's going to be resisting all the counter damage, right? It resists Poison Jab from Hisuian Sneasel, so it's doing really well. It's going to be on every team. It's good. It's ranked number 1. In fact, all the solid team options, all of them are going to have Toxicroak on them. You definitely want a Toxicroak, and you probably have one. I mean, it's not like it's difficult to get, right? You probably have one. Definitely want to use this, no doubt about it. I'm sure it's going to find a place on your team. Then we have Galarian Farfetch'd. Galarian Farfetch'd, really good with Fury Cutter, I think. It's going to be a really strong Pokemon. It gets to the moves really fast. It has Leaf Blade. Going to be getting to those moves fast. Going to be one of the top picks, I think, Galarian Farfetch'd. Then we have Machamp or Shadow Machamp, really powerful, especially the Shadow one, doing a lot with counter, right, Cross Chop. So it gets to the Cross Chop fast, and it does do a lot of damage because of the Shadow boost. So really strong and attack-weighted, powerful Pokemon. Then we have Hisuian Sneasel with Poison Jab. So yeah, I mean, another good one. This one, you don't need to trade with a low-level account. That's only its evolution. So Hisuian Sneasel probably going to see a lot of play. Then we have Poliwrath. So Poliwrath is another great one. It has Mudshot, which I do recommend Mudshot. Then it also has Scald, Ice Punch, has Dynamic Punch, whichever moveset you want. But, you know, it's going to be getting to the moves fast because of Mudshot, right? So, yeah, great Pokemon. Definitely one. I mean, I'm sure you'll see Poliwrath a lot. I think it's definitely up there for sure. For sure. And at least it can threaten, like, the Toxicroak because it can get to those Ice Punch attacks fast, right? Or Scald fast, and it gets to the moves fast. So, yeah, really strong. And plus, Mudshot technically is super effective against Toxicroak, so it's going to be competing, I guess, against Toxicroak. So that's going to be the S rank. Then the A rank, we have Throw. So Throw is Zen Headbutt. Going to be super effective towards everything. The only issue with Throw is that Zen Headbutt is a bad move, so it's still not doing too much damage, believe it or not, but it is a good Pokemon. It's going to be a good answer to like Toxicroak, which is double weak to Zen Headbutt, so still a good one, and I'm sure you'll see it for sure. We saw it in the original Fighting Cup. There's no reason you wouldn't see it in this one. It's definitely up there, Then we have Sirfetch'd. So Sirfetch'd, another great one, really powerful attack-weighted Pokemon with the Brave Bird attack. If you go in that route, it has Leaf Blade, it has Night Slash. You guys know Sirfetch'd. You've seen Sirfetch'd. Then we have Primeape. So Primeape with the counter Cross Chop. Another attack-weighted Pokemon. Another one I think has play for it. Sure, I love Primeape. I really do. I really love Primeape in general. Then for the B rank, we have Blaziken. So Blaziken going to be another strong, really strong Pokemon. Has powerful fighting attacks. Has a good bait move as well, Blaze Kick, right? So you could go Blaze Kick, Brave Bird. I think that's probably the moveset you would see. Blast Burn is an option if, with the Community Day move, but yeah, good Pokemon. Then we have Galarian Zapdos. Most of you probably don't have this. I do not, so you will not be seeing it on me. I might feature it if somebody submits content. I would love to feature a Galarian Zapdos in the Fighting Cup remix, but it's not going to be on my team unless if I happen to catch one before then, right? Below 1500 CP. But as of right now, I do not have one. Okay, very nice. So, good Pokemon. It's just, I don't think it's going to be that common because I don't think many people have it, but you never know. You'll probably see it here or there. Then we have Hitmonchan, a Shadow Hitmonchan. Love the Shadow version. Really powerful. It has powerful elemental attacks like Ice Punch, Thunder Punch. It's just really strong. It also has Power Punch as a bait move if you want to go that route. But yeah, I mean, great Pokemon all around. So that's going to be the SA and B tier for you. We're moving on to the other options. We have Machoke. Machoke does have a new, or yeah, it does. It has Karate Chop. It's not new, never mind. For some reason I was thinking Double Kick, but no, it has Karate Chop, which is okay. I mean, Machoke is an okay Pokemon. It's not as good as some of the others. Some of these Pokemon are not really as good, I don't think, as the SA and B tier. I think those are probably going to be the Pokemon you see the most. But then we have another one, Phalanx. We have Heracross, we have Hitmonlee. Hitmonlee is okay. That one that gets Double Kick. So Hitmonlee or Shadow Hitmonlee, you might see. I mean, Double Kick is a pretty interesting move. It's okay. Again, we have better fighting types like that Toxicroak, like the Poliwrath. I mean, there's just better options, but it's okay. And then Hitmontop as well. Scrafty is interesting. Now, Scrafty, unfortunately, is a Dark type, so even though it's good in a lot of other metas like the Ultra League, like the Great League, it's really not going to be that good in the Fighting Cup Remix because it is weak to fighting and everything else is fighting. So if you're running up against counter users, you're going to struggle. So that's why Scrafty is not going to be that good. It is a pretty tanky Pokemon, but for that reason, it's not going to be used that often. Then we have Chestnut. So Chestnut is a pretty interesting Pokemon as well. Maybe you see it, we'll see. Then we have Lucario. So Lucario was actually decent in the original Fighting Cup, and that's because the two dragons, Komao and Hakamao, were available, and Lucario, it was resisting those Dragon Tail attacks. So now that they're not available, I don't think Lucario is really going to have any play. It is weak to fighting, similar to Scrafty. So I don't think you're going to see Lucario, but it is an option. But again, I don't think it's worth using. Then we have Breloom. Breloom, another attack-weighted Pokemon, nice grass type. So yeah, I mean, could get some pretty good moves off. We have Hariyama, or even Shadow Hariyama. Combuskin. Combuskin is interesting. Combuskin, I think, it's okay like it was in the original Fighting Cup. It has Peck. That's why it's okay, because Peck is a flying move as a fast move, and it's super effective against all the fighting types. And this is a Fighting Cup meta, right? So it is super effective towards almost everything in this meta. It's just not really a strong move. That's the issue. Similar to Zen Headbutt with Throw, right? So I don't know. I'm sure you'll see it. I'll probably use it myself just to try it out, but I don't think it's going to be that big, that common. Then we're going to move on to another one, Conkeldurr. So Conkeldurr, another strong fighting type. Okay, so that's going to be the Fighting Cup Remix. Let me know your favorite Pokemon in this meta. We're also, by the way, we're going to have the Open Great League available as well. Keep that in mind. And then we're going to move on to the solid team options. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, every single team is going to have a Toxicroak on it, at least in these recommendations. I think every team you battle will have Toxicroak. That's why I think Throw might be pretty big, because Toxicroak is going to be really big. I mean, it was big in the original Fighting Cup, I guess, but it's going to be even bigger now because you're not going to go up excuse me, you're not going to go up against the Double Dragon teams, which were huge in the original Fighting Cup. So first team going to be that Toxicroak in the lead, and then we have Poliwrath and Galarian Farfetch'd. I think Poliwrath is a great Pokemon because the Mudshot, getting to the Scald fast, again, I mean, it could threaten the Toxicroak, right, that you go up against, because they probably want to shield the Scald with the Toxicroak, because Toxicroak's really frail, right? And then you also have that 30% chance to get the attack drop, which would be nice to drop Toxicroak's attack. Plus, Mudshot is super effective, even though it's a weak move, it still is super effective. So I think Poliwrath, great Pokemon in this meta. Next up, we have Primeape with Throw. I wanted to give Throw a chance. I think Throw, as I mentioned, Zen Headbutt, not a good move, but I still think Throw is going to be used because it's strong against every fighting type, you know. So, and then we have, of course, Toxicroak. Toxicroak's going to be the MVP of every single team. It really is. It really is. I'd be surprised if we don't see a team with if we see a team without Toxicroak, but you never know. We'll see. Then next up, we have another Toxicroak in the lead this time, again with Throw, so similar team. And then we're also having Combuskin. So we're having two Pokemon in the back, both of which do well against the fighting types, the Zen Headbutt and the Peck with Combuskin. So could be a pretty good team. We'll see. Again, not the strongest moves, Zen Headbutt and Peck, but if you safe swap into one of them, can they really pivot out into something else? Because everything is going to be weak to fighting, right? Or everything's going to be weak to Zen Headbutt and Peck. So we'll probably see teams like that. Then we have another team. We have Hisuian Sneasel with Blaziken and Toxicroak. So Hisuian Sneasel, of course, with that Poison Jab attack, going to be doing decent, I think. I mean, this is going to be a pretty interesting Pokemon. It was pretty good as well. I mean, in the original Fighting Cup, we saw teams with Sneasel and Hisuian Sneasel. Of course, you can't use Sneasel in this meta, but I still think it's going to be pretty good. Then we have Shadow Hitmonchan or the regular Hitmonchan. I'd probably prefer the Shadow one. Strong moves like the Elemental Punches, as I mentioned. So, yeah, this is a triple counter team. So, Hitmonchan with that Sirfetch'd as well as Toxicroak. So, pretty solid there. And then the final team is going to be Toxicroak in the lead with Machamp or Shadow Machamp. I always prefer the Shadow Machamp. I love Shadow Machamp. It's really, really strong. And then Hisuian Sneasel. So yeah, let me know what you think of this team. I think a lot of teams are probably going to be very, very similar. There's not going to be much of a difference. You might see spice picks here or there. I don't think it's going to be the greatest, I guess the most fun we've ever had in a meta. But nonetheless, we do have the Fighting Cup remix, and as I mentioned, let me know what you think of it, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.